Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. We've got a packed show today. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
What is up? Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. And a big happy 4th of July to everyone at home. I'm Holly Saunders here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. And without seeing each other today, I would say we're perfectly clad. Honestly. We didn't see each other.
You looking at me all crazy.
Oh, red, white, and blue.
Wow.
Oh, wonder why he's in red, white, and blue.
What did I do, Skip?
He's got the red. We got the
You
blue.
got on red.
But I don't have white and blue on. I just have red on.
Oh, you got on white. You still got on no blue.
No, he's pulling his weight. Do we have any plans?
Neil having a cookout, but he having a cookout. He talking about it started at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. I figured you were going to be in a hot dog eating contest. Right?
As
You
a
have
matter-
one almost every night, right?
I don't eat hot dogs.
Volume eating contest.
As a matter
Ooh.
of fact, Skip,
Yeah.
as soon as the show's over, I'm on my way to Italy.
Are you?
O'Brien on that yacht. Yeah, we took it out on that yacht.
Man.
Well, in all seriousness, allow me to say happy birthday to the United States of America. We obviously have our problems, many of which you and I discuss on this show.
Yes.
But it is still the greatest country in the world.
Yep.
And I am grateful to live in this country.
Amen.
Thank you.
That is it. That's the only time that you will see them agree the entire day.
Exactly.
All right, let's get started with the latest on Kawhi Leonard. With that, all the speculation around Kawhi centered around reports that he wanted to be traded to L.A., preferably the Lakers, but not so fast. Yahoo's Shams Charania was on the herd yesterday and said Kawhi to the Lakers is not a sure thing. Take a listen.
There's no guarantee if Kawhi Leonard hits the market next summer that he's going to sign with the Lakers, period. I think his options have broadened a little bit just inside L.A. There's another team, obviously, in L.A. I think he'd be very much open to the Clippers. And there's a belief around the league that if the Sixers came hard, that there could be a potential there. But I think, around Kawhi, what's been made abundantly clear is there's not an interest to go join a super team. I don't think he's jumping for joy that LeBron James is in L.A. with the Lakers. If anything, that's going to make him look maybe more toward the Clippers, because this is a guy that won Finals MVP against LeBron James. Do you think he's amped up and wants to join LeBron now? I think that's been overstated, and the Spurs are beginning to realize that, and beginning to realize that we might have a broadened market for him.
Interesting. Shannon, what do you make of this?
I don't believe it. I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth, but I just don't believe it, Skip, because there are three things at play here. Let's just take this. Skip, I'm old enough to remember vaguely when the Clippers were in San Diego.
Yep.
Now, in all those years, can you tell me the free agent that says, you know what, I want to go play for the Clippers? If you think about it, the biggest free agent that they've lured is Chris Paul. The only reason they got him is David Stern vetoed the trade that sent him to the team that everybody knows about in L.A., which are the Lakers. That's the only way they got Chris Paul. So I'm going to eliminate the Clippers. He doesn't want to go play for the Clippers. Okay, boom, done with that.
How do you know that?
Let me finish making my point. Okay, now, there's two other things at play here. I've eliminated one of the three. Clippers, I don't believe Kawhi wants to play there. Okay, it seems now either the Spurs or someone in Kawhi's camp is trying to broaden this, trying to increase the leverage. Now, it's being reported the Spurs want Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and 2 first-rounders. Skip, there's no way.
And Josh Hart was the report, but go ahead.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the guy right now that can command 2 young, talented players and 2 first-round picks.
Wait, you're the one who told me he's the best two-way player in basketball. That's a fair deal.
He's also
I want Lonzo instead of Josh Hart.
And also, we have not seen him play in almost a year. The same thing as Boogie Cousins. We knew if Kawhi Leonard was 100% healthy, maybe someone would have made the splash.
Yep.
Now, if you look at it, so the Spurs might be trying to increase their leverage, saying, hey, but who also stands to gain from this? Saying that, well, you saw what happened with Paul George. Lakers had an opportunity to get him. They didn't get him. He went to OKC. Now he's staying in OKC. I could see that happening with Kawhi. Maybe that's Kawhi's camp putting that out there. Maybe they're trying to put pressure on the Lakers. Y'all need to go on and do this deal, But the one thing I know about Magic Johnson, and I don't know him great like you do, Skip, but I know he ain't going to make no bad deal. This would be a terrible deal, Skip, because even if you give up all of this, Skip, you're weakening your team. I get it. Kawhi is an unbelievable player, the best two-way player in the game, especially. And they're hard to come by to find two-way players on the wing like a Kawhi Leonard that can give you 25 and go lock down on most nights the best opposing player. So he's a very unique talent. But to say that Kawhi Leonard does not want to go play with LeBron James because this is what we know. Great players playing with other great players makes the other job easier. That's what's been said. Shaq made Kobe's job easier. Kobe made Shaq's job a lot easier. Kyrie and LeBron, they made each other's job a lot easier. To say now all of a sudden, well, he don't want to play with LeBron James. I do not believe that, Skip Bayless. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe people...
Well, he was basically, Shams Charania was saying he doesn't want to play on a super team, not just with LeBron, just with any other superstar. Okay?
What the hell do you think Tim Duncan was?
But he didn't choose that. They chose him with the 15th overall pick.
Okay.
And he got to play in the shadow of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker.
So in other words, why not go to Brooklyn? Why not go to Orlando?
Thank you.
Okay.
How about Charlotte?
So that makes
I agree.
That lets you know him saying he doesn't want to play on a super team is being disingenuous because he's not.
No, it's not. How do you know that?
Skip. Well, hold on, Skip. Where can he look at the teams that you're talking about? Where are they going? The days of you, one player, or maybe a couple of players dragging a team to an NBA Finals, that's done because teams are assembling super teams for this very reason. So I don't believe it. I do not believe Kawhi does not want to play with the Lakers. I believe he wants to play with the Lakers. And right now, the Spurs think they have the leverage because the Lakers know Kawhi wants to get there. And they're hoping like, okay, well, if you want him, go ahead and give us Ingram, give us Kuzma, give us those 2 first-round picks.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Tell me when it's my turn.
Go ahead.
You done?
Yeah.
Thank you. What have I told you from the start over the last 6 months about one Kawhi Leonard? He is a weird dude.
Well,
he is extremely unpredictable and unknowable because, to my knowledge, I think I've seen him speak on television maybe twice in the 7 years he played for my San Antonio Spurs, maybe twice, and said little to nothing in those 2 TV interviews. So who knows what's in that weird head of his right now because the Spurs don't know. I don't think the Lakers know. And right now you are letting your heart get in the way of your head because your grand plan, your master plan was LeBron and Kawhi Leonard in Los Angeles.
Okay, I want to hear your theory. Go ahead.
Right?
I want to hear you. I want to hear what your because you believe him.
So let's get this on the record. Shams Charania has broken a lot of NBA stories, including DeMarcus Cousins to Golden State just the other day. He was ahead of that curve. He broke that story. So I'm going to take what he says to the bank. I think he is highly connected. And again, am I shocked by the fact that Kawhi Leonard didn't want to play? It's not he's not directing this personally at LeBron James. He's just saying that he's a weird guy who doesn't want to join a super team. He's not your standard everyday NBA superstar.
Skip, you're talking about he broke the story. He broke the story an hour. He should have had this before free agency started, saying Boogie Cousins, if he doesn't re-sign with the Pelicans, he's going to Golden State. That's breaking the story, not 1 hour before everybody else has it. That's not breaking news.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
He had it first. What are you talking about?
Just because you have, Skip, it's 1 hour.
Did anybody see that coming?
Skip,
no.
1 hour.
I got to tell you, this doesn't surprise me at all because what he's saying is that Kawhi wanted to go to the Lakers before LeBron chose the Lakers. Was it a shock that LeBron chose the Lakers? No, it was not.
Okay,
but
then.
Now that he has, according to people in his camp, and I assume this is coming from the uncle who has taken over Kawhi's basketball and financial, sort of affairs.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
That Kawhi Leonard, not real interested in joining forces. He wants to be his own guy with lower expectations and lower pressure. What did I tell you from the start happened last year in San Antonio? All of a sudden, there's no Duncan, Ginobili's 40 years of age, Tony Parker ruptures his quadriceps muscle, and all of a sudden, it was Kawhi or bust in San Antonio. And all of a sudden, our Chris Broussard, before the year started, is predicting that Kawhi Leonard's going to win MVP. And he crumbled under those pressure and expectations because he'd never felt that before. He had the luxury of playing in the shadow of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili for the first 6 years of his career.
If you don't mind me asking, before you go any further, Kawhi doesn't want to play on the super team. So if you pair him with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, what the hell is that? If you pair him with Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, what the hell is that?
Okay, well, what the hell did you just say? You said, what about, what'd you throw out? Orlando? What about Orlando? I think we should broaden the field. And you're saying, no free agent ever wanted to go to the Clippers. You're unmaking your own case. This is exactly the guy who would go to the Clippers. He doesn't want the spotlight on him.
Well, then why didn't he say the Clippers? He could have easily said the Clippers.
You know, if you told Kawhi Leonard, you can play in Los Angeles, where you're basically from. He grew up in Riverside, but he had connections to Compton. If you could tell him, oh, you get to go, quote unquote, home to play for the other team, the smaller market, quote unquote, team in L.A., the one nobody really cares about, the Clippers, he would be happy with that.
I don't believe it.
He doesn't want to share the spotlight with LeBron James.
But Skip,
and we didn't know for sure LeBron was going to choose the Lakers. If the Lakers had pulled off the trade for Kawhi first, then that's what he wanted, apparently, according to Shams Charania.
Skip, but here's the thing. To say Kawhi doesn't want to play for a super team when Philly is in the mix, when the Celtics are in the mix.
I don't know that they are in the mix. We don't know anything. Have you heard one word publicly from Kawhi Leonard? One word.
Skip.
Have you heard one word? No, you have not.
Did you hear a word from LeBron?
One word from the
Did you hear one from LeBron? Did you hear from LeBron said he wanted to go for the Lakers?
I hear from LeBron every other day.
See, no, you didn't.
What are you talking about?
When did you hear from LeBron?
We all knew it. We all saw it coming.
Oh, see, now we all knew it.
But it was
why didn't he break the story?
It was the Las Vegas betting favorite for him to go to the Lakers.
But the fact, why didn't anybody break the story until Clutch Sports released the statement? It's speculation.
Everybody was predicting he was going to L.A.
That's nothing. Okay.
Well, I'm serious.
Well, everybody's predicting that the Celtics are the second favorite. But Skip, all I'm saying is that no free agent. We've never heard of a free agent. Granted, Kawhi is different.
Here's the problem.
What's the problem?
Last year, I'm going to say this one more time, and you can't get it through your head. The most conservative and patient medical staff in all of sports cleared him to play at midseason for my San Antonio Spurs. And I spoke directly by phone to a doctor who personally hands-on examined Kawhi Leonard. And I told you this. He said, he had all the pictures, I can find no structural damage. There's nothing wrong with his knee. There's nothing wrong with the thigh bone. There's nothing wrong with the quadriceps tendon. There's nothing wrong with the hip. He says he has tenderness in the soft tissue just above the knee. Tenderness? Seriously? And that kept you from playing all but 9 games and collecting $19 million? I think it forces you to question anybody making a long-term commitment to this guy, because if you're the Lakers, are you going to give up Brandon Ingram and Kuzma and, let's say, Josh Hart and draft picks and then bet on him long-term? Are you sure that after next year, after 1 year with the Lakers, that he would commit long-term to the Lakers? Because I'm not sure of that.
I don't believe if Kawhi was healthy, they would give up Kuzma, Ingram, 2 first-round picks, and Josh Hart, even if Kawhi was healthy. But let me put it to you like this. I got a buddy of mine. He's stumped. Every top doctor at Cedars-Sinai in UCLA, they say nothing's wrong with him. But he said, why have I lost 25 pounds in 6 weeks? They can't tell him what's wrong. Just because
Is he a basketball player? Did he play for the Spurs? Did he play professional basketball?
Skip,
come on.
See what you're doing?
Stop it.
You see what you're doing?
That's reach. That's lame.
All I'm saying is the doctors. You said, the Spurs.
This is a sports injury. He had a knee.
Who diagnosed it?
He took a knee to the thigh.
Who diagnosed it? A doctor.
And the whole team of doctors. And I'm telling you, no team is more patient with injuries than the Spurs.
So what does that mean, Skip?
I can't tell you. And do you know how many games he's missed over the years? He had this little knick-knack and that little knick-knack injury. Fine. Take 15 games off, Kawhi. Your knee's a little sore. Take 20 games off.
Skip, all I'm saying is...
You want to bet on this long term? God bless.
Skip, all I'm saying, Skip, you've played this game. I mean, not played, but you covered this game long enough. You know there have been situations, even if it's not sports related, where sometimes doctors have been stumped. They can't tell, and you go this place, you go that place, and they can't tell you what's wrong. Okay, I get the Spurs are conservative. I get they have great doctors. But Kawhi Leonard says, I'm hurt.
Okay,
I'm willing to take him at his word.
If your knee hurts, I get you. Maybe something deep down is wrong in your knee. This is soft tissue in your thigh.
Okay.
This is not career-threatening. This shouldn't cost you all but 9 games of an 82-game season.
It shouldn't, but it has, Skip. He says,
You know what I question? I question whether Kawhi Leonard has fallen out of love with the game of basketball. I question long-term.
That's a reach, Skip.
No,
That's
I'm not. I question long-term. If you're going to bet $200+ million on him, is his heart really going to be in it from this point forward? Because I don't know that.
Well, if that's the case, why the hell does the Spurs want to give him 5 years, $219?
They don't.
Yes, they do.
They do not.
Well, then why did Greg Popovich get his ass on the plane and fly to San Diego to meet with Kawhi?
To try to figure out what is going on in that weird
What difference does it make? If you don't want him, what difference does it make, Skip?
Well, you want to hear it from the horse.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Want to hear it from the uncle who took over the basketball
There you go.
affair.
Because they wanted him.
You know what? If he had a first-class agent, the agent would be issuing statements day after day, and at least you'd have some barometer on where this is headed.
Well, how about this here? You like Agent Wojnarowski. He said Greg Popovich got on a plane, went to San Diego to try to mend the fences with Kawhi Leonard. Why the hell is he trying to mend the fences?
I didn't read mend the fences. I just read check him out. Try to see where his head is. Where is his head? Who knows where his head is?
If you don't want him, who cares where his head is? He can have his head up a giraffe's butt. Why do you care if you don't want him?
Okay, what I've already told you, I'm completely out on $219 million for 5 years. That is insanity. This guy?
You are the greatest Spurs fans. You're not the owner, you're not R.C. Buford, and you're not Greg Popovich. I hear what you're saying you don't want him. I have yet to hear them say that.
Okay, but I'm just telling you that all of a sudden I believe the league is sitting back saying, really, do we want to bet on that guy next year? Because Philly, let's take Philly. Is it going to give up Saric, Covington, and a couple of unprotected first-round picks for Kawhi Leonard and hope that over next year you can you can Paul George him and talk him into committing to you long-term?
I tell you what. Tell R.C. Buford to take Saric, Covington, and those draft picks and see if Philly would do that deal.
See if they do it?
Yes.
Well, I think it's on the front burner as we speak.
I guarantee you they would do that deal.
Okay, so would Philly, do you trust that you could talk him into staying there?
No.
Long term?
No.
Okay.
That's why everybody's hesitant.
Yeah.
Everybody is hesitant. Skip, here's the thing, and we're going to talk about Paul George later. Nobody was ever giving up the second pick in the draft for Paul George because people believe that Paul George can be on a championship team, but only as the second best player. So it makes it a lot easier to say, I'm not giving up no second pick in the draft for Paul George. Skip, if you got to give up Saric and Covington, that's one thing. Saric and Covington is not Ingram. He's not Kuzma. Those two guys and 2 first-round picks? For real? No. And granted, Kawhi's hurt, and we haven't seen Kawhi. We saw Kawhi play 9 games. So we haven't seen Kawhi in a very long time. And as you say, that soft tissue injury, it might come back. You're betting on that Kawhi is healthy. You don't know. You got to roll the dice. Is Kawhi Leonard worth rolling the dice on? 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, 2-time first-team All-NBA? I say yes, but not at the Spurs price. Not Kuzma and Ingram. Not 2 first-rounders. No way, no how. That's all I'm saying, Skip Bayless. That's it. Somebody is putting this out, trying to wrap up the pressure on the Lakers to do the deal. And I don't believe that's the case.
I know, but this would pressure the Lakers not to do the deal. The report is that he doesn't want any part of LeBron and super team.
I don't believe that to be true. I believe they're trying to ramp up the pressure on the Lakers to put pressure, come on and do this deal, because ain't no guarantee. You saw what happened with Paul George. He might get to Philly and like it. He might get to Boston and like it. You need to come on and do this deal, bro. Come on, Magic, do this deal. And Magic and Rob Pelinka sitting back there.
Is it possible, at bottom line to this discussion, that LaShannon Sharp is starting to panic that LeBron is going to have no help in L.A. except LeBron?
No.
Is that what's happening here?
No.
Because all of a sudden I'm saying, who is going to L.A.?
It doesn't matter, Skip Bayless. For me, all I'm doing is looking at this. I do not, because here's the thing. You look at these teams that are interested. Danny Ainge says, of course, I'm going to do my due diligence to kick the tire. But a non-starter for them is Jason Tatum. I'm sure Philly says, what did Brett Brown say? We need a superstar. Okay, they didn't get...
I don't think he was referring to Kawhi Leonard. I think he was referring to LeBron James.
So, okay.
Right? That's what they cleared the decks for.
Yeah, they wanted LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay, a nice consolation prize would be Kawhi. But here's the thing. They made Embiid, Simmons, and Fultz, for the most part, they are untouchable. So now you get to pick from anything else. They're like, I ain't got anything I want.
Yeah.
The Celtics got what you want. The Lakers got what you want. But the Celtics can't be assured. Skip, Why would I run the risk of giving up those assets? Kyrie Irving is going to be a free agent. What if Kyrie walks and Kawhi walks in 2019? What have you done, Danny Ainge?
Okay, I agree with you. That's why this is the worst bet in sports right now is Kawhi Leonard long-term giving up assets because he's the guy with a year left on a contract. He is not free yet.
Someone is trying to muddy up the water to put that pressure on the Lakers. And Magic Johnson being smart as he is, Magic Johnson or Rob Pelinka, Skip, you don't ascend to where Magic Johnson ascended to by being a dummy.
No, but I've told you before, Michael Jordan was one of the smartest basketball players I ever saw, smartest athletes I was ever around. I covered him, and he has become the worst GM in the history of professional sports in Charlotte.
And picking players, Skip.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
We trading for him.
Are we sure? We don't know what Magic's track record as GM is like because he hasn't been one.
He got Kuzma. So that's good enough, ain't it?
He picked Kuzma.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Well, hold on. He got Lonzo. If Lonzo what you say he is, that's it.
Okay.
He don't need to have any more success.
Okay, but now you have to make moves. Now you have to make choices on the fly. Next topic up after the break.
He got the big. He just got the biggest.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Magic Johnson landed the biggest free agent that ever hit the market.
Okay. And then he turned right around and swung and missed on DeMarcus Cousins. And again, we'll talk.
He didn't swing and miss.
Yeah, he did.
That's hold on. You can't miss if you're not up at plate.
Oh.
Ah.
So you're saying there's another erroneous report.
Whoa, Skip.
Shannon Sharp ripping every newsbreaker out there.
I didn't rip nothing.
Every reporter.
Why you do that?
You should be a reporter.
No. Because if I'm a reporter, I can't have fandom.
Oh.
I need my fandom. I need to be. Braun needs me against people like you that attack him unmercifully for no apparent. You ain't telling no truth.
Here we go. Here's yet another superstar who doesn't want to play with LeBron.
Don't do that, Skip. Stop.
For whatever reason.
Stop.
Right.
What superstar don't want to play with LeBron?
Well, Kyrie, Paul George. I don't know.
It was easy for Kyrie to say, you know what, I don't want to play with him after he won that chip. Because, see, once you get that chip, Skip, all bets are off. Because once if Boogie were to get a chip, now Boogie's like, I got this ring, so it's easy. That takes a lot of pressure. Because if you're one of those guys, as these guys, Boogie, Kyrie think they are, that's what Kawhi already has a ring and a Finals MVP.
He does.
So, he's like, hey, I can really call my shot.
God bless America. That's how you start off a 4th of July with that debate. And we'll keep it rolling coming up next. It's been a big week for the Lakers, but did they make one huge mistake that they'll be regretting? We'll discuss that coming up next.
No
mercy. Boogie Cousins shocked everybody by agreeing to a one-year deal for just over $5 million with the Warriors earlier this week. And Boogie told the Undefeated that he did not get any other offers. Also, Mark Stein of the New York Times reports the Lakers declined to offer Boogie a one-year deal for similar money that he will get in Golden State. So, Shannon, I think this was a mistake by the Lakers.
I don't believe it was a mistake this year because I don't know how soon Boogie will get back and how effective he will be. We're assuming that at some point in time, Skip, he's going to come back and he will be the Boogie Cousins that we remember, the 25, 13, and 5 Boogie Cousins. The Lakers are saying, we don't believe you'll be that this year. I believe maybe at the start of 2019 season, we might see the Boogie Cousins that we saw at the start of 2018 season. So I believe a year after, not immediately after, but the year after, a full year will have passed, I believe Boogie Cousins could possibly get back. Because remember, Skip, you gave that stat in 2013, 18 basketball professional NBA players studied.
Yep.
Seven never dribbled a basketball in the NBA again. So Boogie, the odds are stacked against Boogie.
They are.
Now, obviously, the injury has something to do with it. This is what we know about Magic Johnson. He played for the Showtime Lakers. Get the ball out, get it, and go. Yep. LeBron James feels he's at his best pace of play. Now, this is what we know about Boogie. He has a high usage rate. When you have a high usage rate, Skip, you're not getting the ball out and going. That means you're like a sanitation truck. Beep, beep, beep. You backing it down. When you backing it down, guess what's not happening, Skip? The ball's not moving. Well, so maybe that has something to do with it. This is what we know about LeBron James. LeBron James loves skilled big men. That's why he wanted Kevin Love. Kevin Love can shoot. Kevin Love can rebound. Kevin Love can score. Well, Boogie Cousins is taller and can do it better than Kevin Love.
That is correct.
So for me to say, LeBron didn't want him, but LeBron is in a very tough situation, Skip. He's the new guy on the block.
Yep.
Now, you can't come in calling shots as the new guy. Now, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, maybe Bron say, Magic, Rob, go on and bring him in. I can handle that. But as the guy that's just signed, you know, hey, I'm gonna sit back over here. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I just believe that the Lakers are looking to say, I don't believe Boogie will be the Boogie Cousins that we saw, the 25-13 Boogie, and maybe the style of play is really not how we want to play. But to say LeBron wouldn't want Boogie Cousins, a guy that's 25-13, that's agile, can pick and roll, can shoot the three, no, it's hard for me to believe that. But I don't believe the Lakers made a mistake because they don't feel, and I don't believe Boogie will be the Boogie 25-13 that we saw at the start of 2018.
What if he is by January?
Well, if he, I mean, like you said on Kawhi just earlier segment, that's a huge gamble. Golden State was willing to take that gamble, not only Skip from a playing standpoint, but from a locker room standpoint. Everybody can't handle Boogie's personality.
Nope, they cannot.
But the Golden State Warriors with their culture, I believe they can.
So there's one huge unknowable X factor about this discussion, and that is when and if he will come back to being Boogie Cousins, right?
Right.
He is posting workout videos, treadmill videos that look pretty impressive.
Right.
Looks like he's moving pretty well. Looks like he's actually running on the treadmill. That's progress. That's positive signs, right?
But what do you have to do in basketball? Sudden.
Jump.
And suddenly, everything is...
Yeah.
But what happens when you got to...
I know. I agree. It's scary.
Yes.
Nothing. It's the worst injury a basketball player can suffer is the Achilles tendon. Yet, he says he will be ready for training camp. So if he is, Magic Johnson swung and missed on this one. If he is, and I don't know that, so there is that asterisk to the end of this discussion. So I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows. DeMarcus Cousins does not know at this moment how that's going to respond when he has to cut and jump on it, for real. But to me, this was a huge mistake that equaled and canceled the enormous coup it was to sign LeBron James. Because that was, like you said, that put Magic Johnson on the map as a general manager.
Yes.
That is huge, man. Yes. He is the biggest prize ever on the free agent market. Way to go, Magic. I mean, I'm not sure Magic had I think LeBron just wanted to come to Hollywood.
They say Magic was sitting in the driveway.
Okay, he was.
At 12:01, he knocked on LeBron's door, but he was out there since 10 o'clock.
Well, okay. Did you see the pictures of that mansion in USA Today?
Have I seen it? Been there.
Even got a cigar room. LeBron smokes
necessary.
With a 1,500 wine cellar hold 1,500 bottles. You not invited, Skip.
Well, they went up on the terrace.
Overlooking.
Views of the Pacific and downtown L.A. That'll work. That's why LeBron said, give me Los Angeles.
That's why we said, give us
Los Angeles. Why Holly said, give her Los Angeles, right? Okay, so maybe this happened so fast that Magic and Rob Pelinka got blindsided, because I'm talking about this happened in a matter of minutes.
Yes.
And remember, they had a plan in place, and it might have been too hard to adjust quickly to plan B when all of a sudden they had already committed some money, small money, to JaVale McGee, obviously taking him away from Golden State. And they had already committed a good chunk of money to KCP, and they had already acquired Lance, and they had already acquired Rondo and committed small amounts of one-year money to them. So the plan is working on schedule, and all of a sudden they renounce Julius Randle, and within the hour, New Orleans says, thank you. We want Julius Randle. And all of a sudden, in that same flurry of minutes, they get a call, according to Mark Stein. And by the way, he is another highly decorated, highly credible reporter for the New York Times now. And the Stein line, his own website, and he's been doing this for years for ESPN.com. And he says that the Lakers did get a call from DeMarcus and/or his representative, and they had a quick shot. But you got to think fast, man. Do you really want? You've got $5.6 million left in cap space. Golden State got him for that mid-level taxpayers exemption of $5.3. So they're in the same ballpark. And if he's willing, hat in hand, to sort of crawl for that kind of money because his market had completely dried up, and they got the call at least concurrent with Golden State getting a call, or maybe slightly before, it's a hard choice. But listen, I've told you again and again, I am a DeMarcus Cousins fan. I believe in him. I know he's got maybe one screw loose up there, and I get it. The Achilles is the worst bet you can make especially a 6'11" basketball player. But he is so gifted. And when he is right, he is really, really dominant right. As you said, last year before he got hurt, January 26th, he goes 25, 13, and 5 assists, and he shoots 35% from the three-point line, and he averaged almost 2 steals and 2 blocks. Do you know how high that is? Those are dominating superstar numbers.
Skip, when he's at his absolute best, it's hard-pressed to take anybody at the big over him other than Anthony Davis.
Or Joel Embiid. No, I got it.
Man, because you remember those games, Skip, he had a couple of games of 40-20. The guys don't get 40-20.
You just don't. and I've been around DeMarcus enough to tell you, I judge people good heart, bad heart. He's got a good heart. I know he's a little nutty sometimes, and he loses control of his emotions, and we get all that. Has he grown up some? I thought he grew up a little bit in the presence
New Orleans.
of Anthony Davis.
I did. So did I.
And yet, speaking of Anthony Davis, did you see the report from a New Orleans TV station that Anthony Davis said no to DeMarcus?
Wow.
Anthony Davis said no. Remember, just after he got hurt, they went ahead and offered him 2 more years of $40 million. I mean, it's 20 and 20, so a $40 million over 2 years. Well, he said no because he thought he was worth more. And I'm sure right now he thinks he's worth a lot more, and maybe he regrets.
Well, New Orleans is going to be glad they didn't do that because Anthony Davis makes an All-NBA team. He's going to be in line for $5,250.
So does Anthony Davis hate DeMarcus? I don't think he does because obviously they're fellow Kentucky products. But they play the same position, and it's threatening. It's just like it's hard to make it work. So they go get Mirotic at the trade deadline, and all of a sudden that clicked, and I believe Julius Randle will really click because he's just low post force. He's a beast down low, and Anthony Davis can roam a little bit around the lane and shoot mid-range jumpers and occasional threes. So that will click better. So I'm not surprised that Anthony said no, but did that give Magic pause that they're hearing New Orleans is out on DeMarcus? Really? New Orleans is out. And the Achilles on top of that and the baggage on top of that. Maybe in the instant of the moment they said, no, we can't pull this trigger right now.
Exactly.
But I still say big picture, I'm doing best case scenario. If you give DeMarcus relatively healthy to LeBron picking and rolling, I love that, man.
Oh, he's a better Kevin Love.
Whew, is he?
But let me ask you a question. How about this? Put it to you like this. Bigger bet moving forward, Boogie Cousins or Kawhi?
Boy, Kawhi's the biggest X factor in sports right now. I'm going to say DeMarcus. I'm going to say Cousins.
Okay.
I'm going to say Cousins.
Okay.
I trust his psyche more than I trust Kawhi's psyche.
But he has a more serious injury.
He does. It's a terrible. Like I said, I don't even know how to do this debate. It's unwinnable right now because we don't know the bottom line, which is he right or not? Is he ever going to get healthy or not?
Especially, Skip, that's awful presumptuous of Boogie 8 months after this injury. 8 months. You know what happened? Adrian Peterson has ruined it for everybody because everybody thinks now they can come off a catastrophic injury, Skip, and in 6 to 8 months they'll be back. Because Adrian Peterson had his injury in January. The next thing you know, he's going for almost 2,100 yards the following season.
It was a knee.
Right, but everybody, okay. But for a running back, that's the worst injury he can have.
It was.
And everybody's like, well, no, that's an anomaly. That doesn't normally happen. Boogie Cousins is 6'11", probably 270 pounds. And you're going to ask him to still, in order for him to be effective, Skip, he needs to maintain his quickness because he can out-quick most bigs, especially outside.
That is correct.
So now if that dissipates just a little, because that's what happens, as guys start to age, that lateral quickness, that first step quickness starts to dissipate. And what made them great, now it brings them back to the pack, and all of a sudden you're like,
okay. What did I tell you? The recent best-case scenario I've seen with the Achilles injury is my Spurs, Rudy Gay. They took a chance on him, and he was coming right off the surgery, and he opened up training camp with the Spurs and started playing early in the season. They limited his minutes, but I got to tell you, you wouldn't be watching these games like I would because you think it's broccoli to watch the Spurs, right?
With no cheese.
Rudy Gay at, what is Rudy, 6'9"-ish?
6'9",
right in there?
6'9", yeah.
He looked explosive right from jump. He looked like he could jump. And he was so good, they have now re-signed him for a second year. So that's the best case scenario. I don't know. Has the technology gotten better? The medical, the community gotten better with the Achilles? Maybe. I don't know.
But Boogie is 40 pounds heavier than Rudy Gay, too.
He is. He's much heavier.
Yeah.
He might be more. He might be.
What do you think Rudy Gay weighs? 225, 230?
Maybe.
Boogie is at least 270 at the bare minimum.
Yeah, I'm going to say maybe 50.
yeah.
No, I agree. But in the end, I'm doing best case. I'm trying to play to your heart instead of your head. If you had DeMarcus Cousins right down the stretch next year with the Lakers and LeBron, you would be a Western Conference contender.
Well, Magic and Jeannie Buss mad right now because they could have had him even swapped. They could have traded Brandon Ingram and had Boogie Cousins. That was one of the reasons Jim Buss, because they could have had him.
Yeah.
So can you imagine Boogie there, LeBron, and then Kawhi?
Yeah. But remember, you could have added DeMarcus for $5.6 million, and then you'd have all the kids and LeBron and Rondo and Lance and JaVale as a backup center. You'd be pretty good.
I just think Magic doesn't think, and Rob Pelinka do not think that Boogie is going to be where he needs to be, especially February, March, April. Maybe 2019, Skip, start of the season, okay.
Okay,
but
for your sake, I hope you don't regret this come January.
We'll move on to the next topic, but most importantly, this part of the discussion, what is a cigar room? Like, doesn't it permeate the rest of the house?
No. They got cedar.
It said it had some
ventilation.
Air purifier.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like smoking in the car. You get like the first and second hand.
No.
They go all together.
No.
It's LeBron.
You never been in a house with a cigar bar?
No, I have not.
Nor have I.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you guys live.
I was going to say, how do we live? How do we go on?
Do you have one?
No, I don't have one, Skip, but I've been in one.
We're coming over later if you do.
No, I ain't got no cigar. You know, I got a couple of
You
cigars.
can go.
Maybe Colin has
Well,
one.
you don't want no cigars, Skip. You got to celebrate.
No mercy.
Paul George thought he was going to sign with his hometown Lakers, but he opted to sign a max deal and stay in OKC. The Lakers did not trade for George last summer, and he was traded to the Thunder instead. Now, George told ESPN he wanted to come to the Lakers a year ago, but they, quote, didn't grab me. Shannon, are you buying this story from Paul?
No. Skip, why would the Lakers mortgage their future on a guy that could be on a championship team, but for the most indication, most people think he has to be the second best player, not number one. So I'm not, Skip, no one. I don't believe anyone would have given up the second pick in the draft to take Paul George. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't believe they will. Because, and here's the thing, they had to put on the full court press. You can't afford to give up, because they gave up Oladipo. Oladipo looked like he going to be a superstar, Skip. So
I wouldn't go super, but he's a star for sure.
Well, in the Eastern Conference with no LeBron, he gonna be rising.
Until Game 7 against LeBron when he was
not
showing up much, but go ahead. Yep.
Well, what about the other games that he
was great.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you take one game. Sabonis looks like he's going to be a solid player.
Yep.
So you can't have.
By the way, they got Tyreek now.
Yeah, Tyreek Evans.
They're going to be a factor. Go ahead.
So it's hard for me to believe that you can allow Kevin Durant to walk out and get nothing in compensation.
Okay.
Paul George walk out, you get nothing in compensation. Plus what you had given up to get him. So they put on the full court press. For me, is that. I don't see, I never thought the Lakers would mortgage their future for Paul George, considering, now, Anthony Davis, okay, we have him. Joel Embiid, okay, we're going to have LeBron, okay, but not Paul George. And maybe Paul feels comfortable playing with Russ because Russ is a superstar, but the expectations playing with Russ after playing with LeBron James is something entirely different. Skip, it's quantifiable. We know. LeBron James been to 8 straight finals. When you play alongside him, that's the expectations. It's final or your season was terrible. And if you don't win, first of all, if you get knocked out before you get to the finals, it's terrible. At least you got there. So with that being said, they offered Jordan Clarkson, offered 2 late first-round picks, which was, 27, 28? And I guess Indiana said no.
Yeah.
They turned that down to do the deal with OKC. So it wasn't like the Lakers said, nah, we ain't got nothing for you, Paul George. They tried. Jordan Clarkson and 2 late first-rounders. Indiana said, nah, we take this deal from OKC. So it wasn't like they were trying. But if you thought someone was going to give up the second pick in the draft, Paul George, to get you, bro, that was never going to happen.
So to me, this isn't revisionist history. It's just Paul George's way of trying to take the onus off him, some of the blame off him for not going home to Los Angeles to play with the Lakers.
Right.
And it sounds good, but it's it's not really true because it wasn't his choice. He's blaming it on the Lakers or the Pacers for not completing the deal, but it wasn't going to be his choice. That they had his rights, so they were going to trade his rights, and then he'd have a year left, right? So in this case, I'm going to say it again. The reason Paul George stayed in Oklahoma City is because at heart, he's George Paul. He's not only a secondary star, he does not want any of the pressure and expectation of being LeBron's co-star on the Staples stage. It's just too intimidating for him. It's overwhelming. He's a high IQ basketball player, and he sees what has happened through the years to LeBron's help, the way the media has so harshly just destroyed LeBron's help. And it starts with LaShannon Sharp because Kevin Love became the #1 scapegoat in sports to me over the last 3 years. Oh, it's Kevin Love's fault. Oh, don't blame it on LeBron. Oh, Kevin Love, he failed LeBron again. And then last year, it was Rodney Hood is failing LeBron, or Jordan Clarkson is failing LeBron,
if you make $25 million, and you average 9 points in the final,
I got it. I got it. But it's terrifying to some of these guys to try to play alongside LeBron and live up to being his help, because the LeBron protecting media will destroy the help on any given moment. They'll leap on the help and just eat them alive.
That's always been the case, because when Tom Brady doesn't play well, what do you say? The receivers are terrible. So they've always made it.
I never say that. I say they're terrible going into the season.
Exactly.
I do.
Exactly. So we've always protected the Super Bowl.
By the way, when does Tom Brady play terrible? I mean, when do I need that? I don't need an excuse. He was the NFL MVP at age 40.
He lost. He lost the Super Bowl.
Well, it wasn't his fault.
He lost 3 other games also. So clearly, he didn't play well in all the games. And even some of the games that he won, he didn't play particularly well. But that's neither here nor there, Skip Bayless. I love how you try. I love how you try to do that.
It's there.
I love how you try to do that, Skip. But the Lakers are looking at it, Skip. Okay. We didn't get Paul George. Look what we did get. We went fishing, Skip. We went fishing for tuna, and we landed Moby Dick in LeBron James. Okay, we would love to have Paul George. We would have loved to have you. But, bruh, did you see what we landed? We landed the free agent prize of free agent prizes.
Okay, I got that. But just think about what Paul George just decided to do. He decided to stay in Oklahoma City with the biggest ball hog in all of basketball, Russell Westbrook.
Maybe ever.
Who took 347 more shots last year than Paul George took in Oklahoma City. And he chose to stay with him instead of going to LeBron, who can be the most unselfish superstar in sports.
And sometimes we criticize him for being too unselfish.
I agree.
But Skip, you saw the docuseries they had. Paul George said, when I dreamed of playing in the NBA, it wasn't in a Pacers uniform or a Thunder uniform. He said he dreamt of playing in the purple and gold. That's what he said. So if it's a lie, he told it.
And by the way, just for the record, he grew up in Palmdale, which is about 60 miles north of here.
Yes.
This is a town of about 150,000, so he didn't grow up in Brentwood or whatever.
Look, only Marcellus Wiley that was born in L.A. that roots for the Clippers.
That's true.
Everybody else that's born in L.A. root for the Lakers.
No.
So if you're in close proximity of Los Angeles, you root for the Lakers. And so I believe Paul George was no different.
Okay, and I'm going to remind you again, Paul George is now being hailed as a hero in Oklahoma City, my hometown, by the way, because he chose to stay against all odds. Shocking, because everybody thought he was going to up and leave him high and dry, just the way Kevin Durant did 2 years ago on July the 4th. And yet, Paul George has gotten away with, do you remember the closeout Game 6 at Utah in which Oklahoma City got upset and eliminated by the Jazz?
Yeah,
do you remember what Paul George did in that game? He turned into George Paul.
He didn't
score a field goal after the half of the first quarter. So for the last 3.5 quarters of the game, he didn't make a field goal at Utah. Russell scoring 46 points, and he gets 0 help. But does anybody condemn Paul George for that? Nope.
You said he's being hailed as a hero.
Yeah.
Well, he was vilified in Indiana for wanting to get out. Yeah. And if he leaves OKC, he's a villain again.
That's probably true.
He doesn't strike me as a guy that
he doesn't like that, because he seems like a really nice guy. Who really cares about how he is perceived.
Skip, it takes a special type of person to don't give a D of what outside what they think, what they think of him.
About that.
So some of that bothers them. Man, they don't like me. most guys, like Michael, I don't give a bleep if you don't like me. Kobe, I could care less.
Agree.
But everybody isn't built like that. And so Paul George being booed in Indiana, being booed when he goes to OKC, calling him a traitor, all that, maybe that would have worn on him. But it's hard for me to believe, you know, he's looking at, they didn't pull the trigger. No, Indiana didn't pull the trigger. No. The Lakers, like I say, this is what we got on the table. Yeah. Indiana could have said yeah or nay. They said nay. Okay, we're going to take this over to OKC. What you got for us? Oladipo and Sabonis. So you can't be mad at the Lakers.
Okay. So this underscores, once again, just how difficult it is to play with LeBron James. It is no cakewalk to be his co-star or his number two or his sidekick or riding shotgun with LeBron James, because the expectations are through the Staples roof for that guy, also for that guy.
When you play with, Skip, when you play with a great player, you play with Magic, what do you think the expectations were in the 80s? He went to 9 in 12 years, so the expectations were finals. You play with Larry Bird. You play with Michael Jordan. Yeah. Once you get a taste of that, Skip, you know these guys have insatiable appetites. They hold people accountable.
That's true.
And some people don't want to be held accountable, Skip. They grind you. They make your job easier, but they grind you.
So Kyrie Irving finally said, I can't take it anymore. I want out. And he demanded a trade.
Yes.
And LeBron called, we're told, he at least texted Kevin Durant and said, hey, join me in L.A. right now. And Kevin said, give me one more year and I'll think about it. Right. But he didn't want to inflict that upon himself just yet.
Right.
And now Paul George says, I'm staying with Russell, man. I don't want any part of that.
We got a championship team right here.
Well, they got something. They got a chance.
Skip,
long shot chance.
Skip, they lost in the first round to a team that was led by a rookie.
Who is a really good rookie.
He wasn't rookie of the year, though.
Yeah, he was.
Roy Simmons were.
Donovan.
Roy Simmons. Please. You see him at the
You know it, and I know it, and the world knows. Donovan Mitchell was
Did you watch the NBA
Award? I watched it. I tweeted about it immediately.
Who got that trophy?
I don't know. I think it was already done. Maybe they voted way too early.
Stop.
Huh? I think they did. Huh?
What you mean? It's a regular season award, so when you want him to vote?
Did you see Donovan Mitchell go head-to-head, mano-a-mano with Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
Just shot for shot.
Yeah.
You got it? I got it. I got you.
The Rookie of the Year award is based on 82 games, not 6.
I know.
You know who for sure has a cigar bar, I decided, during the segment? Jerry Jones. 100%. Smoking jacket. He's got all of it.
I got a smoking jacket.
Oh, you do?
I got a smoking jacket.
Oh,
you got to bring it in.
Okay, I'm going to have it sit. I'm going to have it sit back here.
One of your celebrations you had to
Yeah. First game, when LeBron didn't win opening night.
Really?
I'm wearing it the next day.
All right, we like that.
That might be one of few wins next
Don't do that, Skip. See, there you go. You ruined
everything. We got to get out of this segment, guys. Jerry Jones, that was my segue. You ruined it. Is everybody underrating his Cowboys? Discuss that coming up next.
No mercy.
Welcome back to Undisputed, and we want to wish everyone a very happy and safe 4th of July. Celebrate with family and friends the freedom that we have in this wonderful country. And the NFL season starts in about 2 months, so let's talk some football. Let's start with America's team, the Cowboys. They missed the playoffs last season and lost Des Bryant and Jason Witten this offseason, but Pro Football Focus ranked Dallas as having the 8th best roster in the NFL still. The defending champion Eagles were ranked number 1 on the list. But Shannon, do you agree with the Cowboys ranking?
Yeah, but so what? What does that mean?
So what?
Yeah, so what are they going to do with it?
Playoffs.
Yeah, they had the top roster in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. How many Super Bowl? How many playoff wins, Skip?
I don't care about Super Bowls. I just care about playoffs.
Oh, so that's what we play for?
That's what you and I are playing for, because you have already bet me big that they will miss the playoffs at 7 and 9.
Yeah. So what? Okay. Yeah. They got of the top 5 linemen. They got a top 5. They got a top 5, top 3 left tackle, top 3 center, top 3 right guard. They got a top 3 running back. They got a top 3 defensive lineman, a top 5 in DeMarcus Lawrence. Sean Lee is a top 5 middle linebacker, maybe top 3.
Thank you. That's the first compliment you ever paid to Sean Lee.
No, I said he's good. I just said he's not Kuechly or Bobby Wagner. That's what I've always said that. Okay. So, but I think he's a good player, Skip Bayless. Dak, a top what? 15?
5.
See, Skip. Why you do this?
Keep going.
I can't keep going because you are not being serious. You know Dak ain't top 5. But Skip, what is that for? What are they going to do? What are they going to do with that? All that talent. They're not extremely deep, not like the number 1 team on this list. They loaded. When I say they're loaded.
I agree. They're loaded at quarterback because, boy, their backup
Wow,
is better than their starter.
No.
Huh?
He's the backup. Haven't you heard it?
Should be the
He
starter.
wrote a book. You heard what he said? And on the book tour, he says, you know what? I want Carson, Pennsylvania, to succeed even at my expense.
Really?
I know I'm the backup. That's what he said. He said all the right
He called
things.
him Pennsylvania?
Yeah, know what he called
I don't
it.
think he called
He
it.
called it that. Yeah, what he called it. So, Skip Bayless, look, I get it. You know, if you look at this team, Skip, if you look at the players, they got some skill.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to believe that they're going to be better because I still, you know, even though Dez was a shell of himself from 2014, he's still better than what they got on that roster. What are they going to do with Jason Witten? Now, granted, he wasn't an all-pro Jason Witten. He just going to give you like 60 catches, probably about 600 yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns.
No yak yard?
No, that's okay, but who going to catch the ball? You don't know what kind of yards they're going to give you. What about your tight ends now? You banking on Gathers who hadn't played since last preseason.
Rico Gathers, basketball star at Baylor University.
They got nothing to do with football. Oh, you hoping he's going to turn into
tight end star.
So you said he's going to be, if he's going to be Tony Gonzalez
Gates.
or Antonio Gates?
Gates. Or either one. I'll take Tony Gonzalez. Maybe.
I bet you will. Yeah, the likelihood of that happening, okay. But, Skip, so what? They got the eighth best roster. What they going to do? Nothing. Because guess where they going to be? Like me and you, watching the playoffs.
Okay. So this is more highly credible evidence, Holly, that I'm going to win yet another bet. My man, Shannon Sharp.
That ain't no guarantee just because they got the...
Highly credible evidence because this is pro football focus, and they are breaking it down and grading position by position by position. Then they're adding up all the grades and saying, wait a second, the Dallas Cowboys have the 8th best roster.
Yeah.
And again, I give you the Eagles, number 1, but boy, the Giants are way down there at like 28, and the Redskins are 21st. So all of a sudden, it looks like Dallas could just leap right into the playoffs as a wild card team out of the NFC.
Why not?
Right?
Why not win the division?
Well, they could. I give them a shot. I do. And that's
What,
after
tetanus? Flu?
Yeah, I'll give them a tetanus shot.
Okay.
That's what I give them.
Yeah, that's the only shot they gonna
Because
get.
they were allergic to the offseason for sure. Because they did virtually nothing in the offseason or
What about the
maybe
draft?
the draft. I was
Y'all got a
holding on to
linebacker?
that. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't even remember his name because I don't want to say his name. Okay, so despite all that, Pro Football Focus is saying, look what this roster is. And guess what? This roster graded out 8th best, and that's while outrageously underrating 3 stars on this roster off lackluster years last year. Because do you realize Zeke's grade is 83.4. That ranks him on Pro Football Focus the 13th best running back. You think he's the 13th best running back?
No,
He
he's
is
not even
not.
close to that, yeah.
But he had a troubled season with that cloud of suspension hanging over him all the way until late in the season when he's gone for 6 games. So that discounted. You don't think he'll leap back this year on a mission?
Oh, he's a top 3 back, absolutely.
Right, thank you very much. Dak had a troubled year last year because obviously he lost Zeke. He lost Sean Lee for 6 games. He lost A.S.smith for 3 crucial games down the stretch. And he's ranked 17th among quarterbacks.
I said 15.
You think he's 17th best? He'll be top 5 by the end of this year. Do I have to bring up QBR again, my favorite quarterback stat? He was 3rd 2 years ago, and he was 4th last year. He plummeted all the way to 4th.
But I tell you what you can bring
Are
up.
3 and 4 within 5? I think they are. So I'm gonna say top 5.
LOSSES.
Okay. Well, again, everything went wrong. What could go wrong went way wrong for my Cowboys.
What
last
makes you
year.
sure he's going to go right this year?
Well, Ty Smith says he is 100% healthy. He was not healthy last year, and his grade fell all the way to 79.7. That ranks him 20th among tackles. Want to bet he'll be the best tackle in football again this year? Want to bet?
Yeah, he'll be.
Yeah, thank you. And Zach Martin did grade out as the #1 guard in football. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And that center, Travis Frederick, he graded out as the #2 center. Your Philadelphia center graded #1. I give you that. That's fine.
Kelsey.
Yep. And yet, DeMarcus Lawrence, do you realize he graded out 3rd among pass rushers?
Yeah.
But I love this stat. He produced pressure on quarterbacks. About 19% of his pass rushing snaps, that graded out #1 among edge rushers. So he was a stud last year. He was a difference maker.
Yeah, I
right?
factored him in.
Yeah. Okay. So we got that going. And then Sean Lee, I love this stat that I read last night.
What'd he rank?
Sean Lee was graded almost 90. I'm not going to tell you where he ranked because it doesn't matter because I ranked him #1.
No, that's good.
In the games he played last year, the opponents rushed for a grand total of 89 yards a game. In the 6 games he missed, they averaged 136 yards. And you saw what happened in the second half against Green Bay and the Rams, right? They just ran wild on them because there's no Sean Lee.
They threw wild on them, too.
Well, they did both, but he does it all. He coaches the defense. He literally coaches it in the meeting room, and he coaches it on the field. You better hope, because your worst nightmare will be if he stays upright for 16 games this year. This is a playoff team.
The way they get into the playoffs, Ezekiel Elliott has 350 to 400 carries, and he's somewhere 1,800 to 2,000 yards. Now, that, I can't do anything about that because it's hard for me to believe a vision or scenario where 1,800-yard rusher team isn't in the playoffs because that means they're going to be controlling the clock. That means their defense is not going to play heavy minutes, and so they'll be fresh and they'll be able to get after the quarterback. So if all those things go well, okay, fine and good. But Pennsylvania, where he grade out?
How many playoff games has he played in? Help me out. Carson Wentz, he's played in how many games?
He got his team
How about
in the play.
0? He's played 0 playoff snaps in his career. You trust that going forward?
You want to bet he playing one this year?
No, they'll make the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens.
Probably going to go back and repeat.
I think they're going to have a quarterback quandary.
You try to speak it into existence. It's not going to happen.
Hey, Nick Foles played 3 of the best quarterback games I've ever seen this side of Tom Brady in a playoff stretch.
Well, he played 2, the championship game, and that was the reason why I didn't pick him, Skip, because you and I were talking about it. I say, Skip, there's no way he can play the way he played in the championship game. There's no way he can carry that and play in the Super Bowl.
And he played better.
He did.
No.
So
he outplayed Tom Brady on the Super Bowl.
What?
Even though Tom Brady threw for a playoff record 505 yards in that game.
Did you say
Tom Brady did make one late mistake? It was more of a great play by Brady.
No. He made a mistake. Go ahead, no. Did you just say Nick Foles outplayed Tom Brady?
Well, he was the MVP of the game.
This is beyond me.
Oh, well,
I can't believe you would say it.
Well, it's because I say Kevin Durant outplayed LeBron James because he was the MVP of the finals twice in a row.
I got no problem with that.
I can't take that away from Nick Foles.
But see, you saying that Kevin Durant outplaying LeBron James, that's one argument. But the argument that you lose me and where you and I separate from each other is that when you take it a step further, because, see, you don't know how to go to the line and look over. You go to the line and walk over when you say Kevin Durant is a better player than LeBron James. See, this is where you and I part ways.
What did my eyes tell me on the biggest stage in the
You need LASIK. You need.
I got LASIK. I can see everything. I can read the prompter. Like,
no.
Can I read the prompter?
No, you can't read. No, you can't read.
LaVar says LeBron and Lonzo will win titles in LA.
No, you don't need to read. You don't need to read. But you don't say Nick Foles. So is Nick Foles a better player than Tom Brady? We just say he outplayed Tom. Nobody says he's a better player.
He hasn't had a chance to be a better player. Maybe next year he'll start proving he's better than Tom Brady when the Eagles give him a chance to start.
He was a starter. He lost his job. Remember?
No, I don't.
Why did he leave Philly the first time, Skip?
Well, remember that 1 year he had 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions?
Yeah, but unfortunately what we do up here, we update resumes. So we don't get to live off that.
Really?
Yeah, because there's something happened in 2011 that a guy wouldn't update his resume, but you keep going back to it.
All right, we got to make room for a 4th seat. Guest is joining us, and as Skip said, LaVar Ball says LeBron and Lonzo will win a title in L.A. He reads it better than I do. I was too confusing there. Is LaVar right? Is the man ever wrong? We'll discuss that coming up next with Rob Parker. Stick around.
No mercy.
Now, LaVar Ball often says that he speaks things into existence, and he predicted a long time ago that LeBron would be a Laker. And now, LeBron is teammates with his son, Lonzo. And yesterday, LaVar gave some more predictions to TMZ. Oh, boy. Take a listen.
What else can you foresee in the future for the NBA? You calling a lot of things right now.
Some championships for the Lakers.
For the Lakers.
I'm telling y'all, man.
How many?
Hey, LeBron got a 4-year deal, right?
Yeah.
I hope he gets 4 in a row.
Yeah.
But if not, I guarantee 2 when all my boys is on the Lakers with him.
Well,
game over.
Since we're talking about championships, a lot of people are saying it's already a wrap for the rest of the league because the Warriors just signed Boogie.
The Warriors can sign Boogie, Prince, Michael Jordan, anybody they want. They still ain't gonna win with this team right here. Lakers with LeBron. You don't give my son the best player in the game. Don't think he gonna win no championships.
All right, bro. Okay. For more, we're joined by Rob Parker, whom I spend every single holiday with in this studio because we have no friends or family.
That's right.
Apparently.
You know it. Skip, you're not a friend of mine?
No, I'm your
Shannon?
No, you took 300 wings off me.
When I shared them with everybody, would you at least say that?
You did. You did.
Oh, Rob, how many titles do you see for LeBron and Lonzo?
0. I mean, first of all, this whole notion that LaVar speaks everything into existence. So did he speak his son into the second son?
Jello.
Right, to get drafted in the NBA?
No.
Oh,
But Rob, I got to say,
okay.
He was saying LeBron to L.A. before I heard anybody say it. Okay,
you know what?
He was way ahead of that.
He might have said that, and that's fine. A lot of people said it. Peter Vesey even went out on a limb about a year ago and said it was a done deal, it was going to happen. But anyway, they're not winning any championships. I really don't see it from this standpoint. First of all, you sure Lonzo's going to be on the team?
Good question.
When LeBron wins a championship.
Or is he going to be on opening night this coming season?
Right.
I don't know.
Or the starting point guard with Rondo. I mean, you know Rondo, and he's very competitive and is going to push and
he's proven.
Yes, and proven, and LeBron loves that. Okay,
yes.
We saw playoff Rondo, didn't we?
We did.
And playoff Rondo is a good point guard.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not so sure about that when you talk about Lonzo and LeBron. But here's the bigger thing. This is why I'm not sure LeBron is into the business of winning anymore. LeBron James really wanted to be in LA, period, no matter what. I've never seen LeBron make a commitment to a team without it being stacked ahead of time.
Agreed.
And that he knows what is going to be there. It's nice to sit there and say, I believe in magic and whatever, but this organization has had some issues with getting players here. Kobe Bryant, with cap space, could not get anybody to play here. Carmelo Anthony lives in Los Angeles and wouldn't play here.
That's true.
Dwight Howard gave up $30 million to get away from Kobe and not play here.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful place, a fabled organization, all that. Now, I believe the jig is up when it comes to LeBron. I really do. And you could poo-poo it and make it like, oh, well, Paul George just loved OKC and didn't want to come. This is two players now. Kyrie didn't want to play with LeBron. Greatest player on earth. Went to the championship, was almost guaranteed in the East to go to the championship every year, have a chance to win.
Yep.
Most players wouldn't pass that up. So he didn't want to play. Paul George is from here for over a year, talked about coming to L.A. You talked about it earlier, right?
Yep.
He also refused to come here, wouldn't even take a meeting with the Lakers, Magic Johnson, and LeBron James is here. Wouldn't even take a meeting. So I'm starting to look at this, and I'm not convinced. And now the word is Kawhi saying, I'm not that keen on joining a super team and sounding like, without saying I don't want to play with LeBron, I don't want to play with LeBron.
Didn't I shoot that super team? Because if he were to join Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, what would that be? If you were to join the Boston Celtics with Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, what would that be?
No, I'm talking about...
Would that be considered a super team?
Yeah, but I'm talking about people joining LeBron is what I'm trying to say.
Let's just see.
That's what I'm looking at, and I'm not convinced of it. I don't think LeBron wins one championship in the 4 years he's here.
Well, a lot of my points that I made, Rob Parker already made. The only one that he didn't make, Skip.
You just spin them all differently.
No. I believe they'll win one title.
Okay.
I do believe they'll win.
You thought they were going to win one game against Golden
State?
Yeah, I did. You wanted 300 rings on that?
You know what? I guess I'm the only guy that's ever been wrong up here, huh?
You want to bet on that?
Cincinnati?
You're the only guy on this show.
Cincinnati winning the Super Bowl, I guess that was a great pick.
Don't bring that up.
But anyway, the thing is, Skip, and like Rob mentioned, how can you assure 2 titles when you can't assure that your son's going to be on the roster in 2 years? Hell, we're not even sure that he's going to be on the roster opening night.
Or for another week.
Yeah, so...
They got Rondo? What is this about? I still don't get it.
And,
explain, please.
I get. He has the utmost confidence in his boys, and rightfully so. Yep. He's a dad, and parents believe their kids can do no wrong. But this notion that my boy, LeBron's going to be so much better playing alongside my boy, Skip, that's just flat out ridiculous.
Yeah, even I laughed.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron James has played with somebody. I mean, Kyrie is spectacular.
Yeah.
He's played alongside Dwayne Wade, and he played Dwayne within his prime. And granted, his knees started to get a little bulky towards the end of his time. But LeBron James has played with some of the great players in this NBA. It's hard for me to believe that a second-year player, Skip, is going to make LeBron James exponentially better. So I believe they win 1 title. I hope LaVar is right, they win 2. He's been wrong before. Right now he's probably batting 50-50. But I'll give him one title, Skip. I'll give him one.
By the way, if you listen closely to what LaVar just said as we heard it, he said, I'll give them 2 titles only if his sons are playing, sons plural. Like he means all 3 of them with LeBron, he'll give LeBron 2
One's
titles.
not even in the summer league.
Correct.
So
that is correct. Okay, I'm going to say this again. The only way LeBron James is going to win another title is if Kevin Durant next year decides, okay, I've had enough of this dynasty in Golden State. I'm going to go join forces with LeBron on the Lakers stage in L.A. because Kevin owns 2 homes here in the Los Angeles area. And I know for a fact LeBron did reach out to him before he came to L.A. And Kevin said, no, I want to see this through 1 more year. But he did, I'm told on good authority, that Kevin will reconsider next year, just to see how it all feels at Golden State and how it looks in L.A.
What if Kawhi comes to the Lakers and Kevin Durant leaves Golden State? Do you still think LeBron will be titleless in his reign here in L.A.?
Leaves Golden State to come to L.A.?
No, if he goes somewhere else.
That would be interesting because it would really weaken Golden State if Kevin left. That's why that's a great move for the Lakers. Weaken, strengthen. All of a sudden, the whole balance of power shifts seismically from northern to southern.
Well, obviously, if he were to join the Lakers, that makes them substantially better. Right. But it just goes somewhere else and Kawhi comes.
But the other part I think that's unfair or short-sighted is everybody thinks LeBron is going to be as good as he was a year ago, 3 years from now.
To that point.
Those 2 years, the last 2 years, Skip, I'm not buying it.
Hey,
I'm just not buying it.
Think about this. If LeBron, I'm going to knock on wood for him, if he can stay healthy, which he has been the most durable superstar in the history of sports, if he stays healthy for the 3 years he is now committed to play for the Lakers contractually, he will almost certainly eclipse Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the most minutes played in the history of the NBA. That is a lot of wear and tear, man. So over these next 3 years, it took Kareem to age 41. Obviously, LeBron got a little earlier start than Kareem did, but still, for LeBron to play that many minutes, what would he be at 36-ish? But in basketball years, in NBA years, he's going to be 40-something at that point. And I don't know if his body will start to betray him with little knick-knack injuries here and there. I don't know, but you're going to get diminishing, to your point, diminishing returns on LeBron. He doesn't play a lot of defense now because he can't. It's just he was so good on offense that he focused and channeled all of his energy into the offensive end. Well, is that championship material? I don't know, because you do need more help.
And that's why this deal doesn't make any sense to me for him to come here, other than he wanted to live in L.A.
He just wanted to live in L.A.
Right,
and be around Hollywood.
because you're giving up the first year. Would you admit that you're basically giving up 1 year and saying, okay, I'm not going to win?
Unless he keeps talking about Magic's no-look pass. Does Magic have one in his back pocket? If he's got one,
who are they going to get?
Don't you worry about it. But let me ask you a question.
I'm trying to figure it out.
We'll figure this out.
Ignore this.
When LeBron went back to Cleveland, was that a stacked team?
Yeah, we had Kyrie, and they had the first over. They had Wiggins, who they turned into Kevin Love. Yes, it was. And in the Eastern Conference, he's not in the Eastern Conference
that was stacked
anymore.
in the East.
In the East, that's stacked.
But you remember, they didn't have Kevin Love until LeBron got back. Do you believe Kevin Love would have gone to Cleveland without LeBron being there?
But wait a minute. When he wrote his letter about coming back, he didn't mention Wiggins, who was what, the first pick?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't even mention Wiggins about coming to Cleveland, because everybody knew that Kevin Love was already coming.
Yeah,
that's true.
He don't like playing. He like playing with veteran guys. He don't like guys playing with potential. He like to know. He knew Kevin Love was a 26-12
But
guy.
here's the other thing. I think you were dissing Paul George. I think Paul George, what he talked about was honest. I think the Lakers just assume that if someone's coming, they can have their cake and eat it too. They figured, we don't have to give up anything. We'll just wait. He says he wants to be here. We'll wait. You know what happens?
Let me ask you a question.
You can't do that. And that's why I'm telling you.
Name the team that would have given up the second pick in the draft for Paul George.
Do you really want Paul George to go with LeBron James? Would you have really wanted that if you were Magic? Absolutely, they wanted.
No, but here's the thing. The Lakers offered 2 late first rounders in Josh Hart, or not Josh Hart, or Jordan Clarkson. What team would give up the second? Because people believe Paul George can be on a championship team, but only as the second best player.
No, I get that.
We've seen him in the lead role. We've seen him in the lead role. How'd that work out for us?
All I'm saying is always thinking that everybody's going to come here. Just go back, Shannon, and look at Kobe's last few years with the Lakers.
But
they
Kobe,
had nothing but money, Skip.
But Kobe,
and nobody would come here. Nobody would want to play with Kobe and the Los Angeles Lakers organization.
But come on.
What?
But who thinks Kobe game and LeBron James are similar? Everybody knows.
I'm just talking about playing with a great player who won 5 championships.
There's a difference between
on a great stage.
Rob, you know for a fact there's a difference between playing with a great player that ball hogs and playing with a great player that's unselfish. Now stop you being disingenuous when you talk about, oh, Kobe's a great player, but you talked about how he ball hogs.
Yeah, but the difference is if you play with LeBron, you get the brunt of everything that's bad. You get that. That's what you have to wear.
Let me ask you a question.
At least Kobe will take the brunt of the bad press.
Kwame Brown said no, he didn't. Smush Parker said no, he didn't.
Smush Parker.
Now Smush Parker. See what you did?
Go ahead, you're gonna name every Cosby kid too that he played with.
All I'm asking. So why would he request a trade then? If he was so happy here in L.A., why would Kobe request a trade, demand to be traded?
No, he wanted them to get some more players.
Oh, so if LeBron...
No, but that was just, I got to get away from Shaq.
Right.
That was about Kobe versus
Shaq was gone. Shaq was in Miami. Shaq was in Miami. Yeah, before
the town wasn't big enough for both.
No, I get that. I'm talking about before they got Pau Gasol, when they weren't making the playoffs and they were getting swept in the first. They were getting out in the first round. You remember that when he said he wanted to leave?
I remember that. I remember they were against the Suns and had a 3-1 lead. What was that? Skip second round or
first round?
Was that first? And Kobe quit on the team.
In Game 7 at home.
I just love how Kobe, a great player, needed help. LeBron says, I need. Oh man, God, LeBron James need help. Oh,
yeah, but Shannon, you got to face up to this.
What?
Your man, LeBron James, is no longer chasing chips.
Yes, he is.
He just wanted to come to Los Angeles. And there's no strings attached. There are no contingencies. There's no plan B, C, and D. There's no hidden agenda here. He just said, I'm coming.
Let
the chips fall.
Skip, he trusts Magic Johnson more than he trusts Dan Gilbert. Magic says, I'm going to get me another.
That's easy. I mean,
Magic says, I'm going to get me another free agent.
Yeah. No look. Who is it?
Might be Dame Lillard.
Oh.
Might be
not free.
Huh?
You mean trade for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got assets.
Yeah, you got some assets. Lonzo Ball.
We got to move on. Rob, I know you got nothing but time on this holiday. You sticking around with us?
I am.
All right, cool, because this is coming up. Tim Tebow had a very, very bad day. You don't want to miss this. We'll discuss that coming up next.
Terrible, Skip.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back again tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.